Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome back. So this is lesson 2 for our fourth quarter Earth Science. For today's agenda, I want to remind you, we're always going to do our mindfulness. So I'd like you to do your deep breathing. Breathe and out, and in and out. And one more. Okay, and then do your attitude of gratitude. Think of one little thing for which you are grateful. Get that in your head. Okay, so today's question of the day, again, I want to remind you that we are not going to be writing down the question of the days, but I do want you to think about this. These ones coming up all have to do with your project. So today's question, what do you know about the person who first stated about the hypothesis of continental drift? So if you want, you can pause this right now and go look that up. I know, again, I have your notes, so you can't reference those. So maybe take a minute and go look that up. I'll wait. Okay, then the next on our agenda, of course, is our daily funny. So what do you tell actors? I'm sorry, why do you tell actors to break a leg? Well, it's because every play has a cast. But all right, today's learning target, I will describe the evidence I will present in my project for the continental drift portion. Norms for this lesson, I will commit to curiosity as I investigate and to craftsmanship as I do the work for my project. The terms are the same and they will be the same throughout this project, so we're still working with continental drift, seafloor spreading, and plate tectonics. What we did previously and what we're doing moving forward. So we started our plate tectonics project. We chose partners if we wanted one, and we chose a format. Now we're going to begin gathering ideas specifically about the continental drift portion. Before we get to that, because we have now switched to online, I do need to help you set up some Google folders in your Google Drive. Please make sure you are following those directions specifically. And then after that, you can continue working on your plate tectonics project. Today's goal is to have information gathered about the first topic, which is continental drift. And we're going to begin putting this in our chosen format by putting things into the folder in the Google Drive that we are going to set up. Later on, your wrap up will be that we will be able to describe evidence that you can present in your project specifically about continental drift. Okay. All right, so here's how you're going to set up your Google Drive with folders. So first of all, you have to open up Google in your browser and then click on that little square of dots that are noted in the upper right-hand corner once you have Google open. I would recommend that you have a different window open so you can look at this video while you are trying to set this up. So I have marked it here where you're going. So once you have found those dots, click on the dots and then you're going to see a bunch of options. They may be in a different order than the ones that I have here. Look in there and click on the one for drive. It looks kind of like a little triangle. And again, it may show up in a different spot than shown here. If you need to, pause this video so you can get that going. Okay, so the next thing you are going to see in Drive, you're going to see something like this that is off to the right on this screen, showing some things that are already in your Drive. I want you to look for the button. It's kind of to the left. It has a big plus sign on it, and that's for making something new. So look for that. I've circled it in red here. You're going to click on that button with the big plus sign. And once you do that, you're going to select the choice at the top for folders. So you're adding or creating a new folder in your drive. Again, I'll wait a minute. You can pause here so you can set that up. Okay. So once you click on the new folder, or creating a new folder, you're going to get a little pop-up box where you can name your folder. I want you to call it very specifically your first name, your last name, and then fourth quarter earth science. So I have an example here with mine, and you're going to then hit the create button. Now, once you do this, you can see and then click on this folder in your drive. So after you hit create, you're going to see and be able to click on this folder in your drive. So I have another image here. It's showing my drive, and I have clicked on the part where it says Mary Searing fourth quarter earth science. Okay. When you click on that, there's a little drop down box arrow, and you can then share this with me. So click down to where it says share. And then share this with me. Make sure that you are entering my email, searingm@mapleton.us. Again, I'll give you some time. You can pause this video, go ahead and set that up. I should be seeing a whole bunch of new things populating in my email. Okay, pause now and get going. All right, so while you're in this folder in your drive, you are going to once again click on that plus button. Now, it's important that you are in that folder and not just in your drive. So make sure you are in your fourth quarter earth science folder. Click on that big plus button that we did earlier, which is off to the left. And you are going to then be making a subfolder. So when you click on that plus again, choose folder. So this will be a folder inside the folder or a subfolder. You're going to call this new folder, this new subfolder, your first name, your last name, and plate tectonic project. If you have a partner, you need to put both of your names on this subfolder, and then you are going to click the create button. Everything you put in here should be then automatically shared with me if you've already shared the bigger folder. If you have a partner, at this point, you will then need to share this subfolder with your partner so that both of you have access to it. That doesn't necessarily mean that they have access to everything in the bigger folder, but they do have access to everything that is in this subfolder. Okay, so again, there's a little image here about how you're going to name it. Mine says Mary Searing Tectonic Project. Again, create, and then go through the process of sharing. I'll give you a minute, pause this as you need, and get that subfolder put into your bigger folder. Okay, so now we are considering what you are doing for your project. Everything you do for your project needs to be put in this subfolder. So any notes, any pictures, any whatevers need to go into this subfolder. I want to be able to see your progress. And again, I want to remind you, if you have a partner, you need to share this subfolder with your partner and make sure that this subfolder then has both you and your partner's names on it. If you are confused, please check with me. You can email me and check with me. All right, so now that we've got our folders all set up, we need to continue working on our plate tectonics project. Again, I hope you're finding this to be kind of interesting and fun. I do want it to be creative and, something that you get to really draw on your own interests. So you need to be continuing gathering your ideas, put any of your notes, your drawings, ideas, etc. in this plate tectonics subfolder that was created by you on the Google Drive and that which was shared with me. For today, your goal is to be gathering information about the first topic, which is continental drift, and you're going to begin to put all this in your the format that you have chosen. So remember, you need to have information and images or artistic influence pieces about continental drift. When you're looking up or including ideas about continental drift, make sure you understand you have to explain continental drift. You have to explain who created the hypothesis of continental drift, and you need to be able to explain 3 types of evidence which scientists use to prove continental drift. So remember, there are 3 components in this one part of your project. Okay, so go ahead and get with your partner if you have one, get working on this. Make sure you have shared with me your folder with that subfolder in it. Please contact me if you are confused or need support. Again, my email is searingm@mapleton.us. And lastly, I do want to remind you, I do miss each and every one of you. I love each and every one of you. I hope all of you are doing very, very well. Have a good rest of the day.